British wonderkind Phoebe Waller-Bridge just created her third show. Now, her first two shows were two highly acclaimed comedies, but this is her first foray into drama. Does she pull it off? Stay tuned to find out.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Baby, can't you see I'm calling?
I love this song.
The underrated Britney Spears.
Underrated. Welcome to the after show. My name is Jeff.
Is that what we're doing?
My name
We're not doing that.
is
Nope.
Linda.
Guys, welcome to TV Pilot Reviews here on AfterBuzz TV. As I just sang to you, guys, my name is Jeff. Today we're covering a new show called Killing Eve, starring Sandra Oh, who you guys know from Grey's Anatomy. We're going to get into all the specific coverage of this pilot. Just to remind you guys, this is a pilot review show. This is not an after show, so we will just be covering this episode of the show. But we have a lot of thoughts, and we can't wait to get into it. Before we get into it, though, I'm surrounded by a group of brilliant panelists, and I would love for them to say hello. Linda Antwi,
Hi, Linda Antwi.
Samantha Davidson,
Hi, Sam Davidson.
and DeAnJilo Platt.
Hello.
Hello, DeAnJilo. Okay, so guys, this is a show, as I mentioned.
I had
Say
to
what?
change it up. I had to change
You always
it up.
got to be different.
He's always changing it up. As I mentioned at the top, guys, this is a brand new kind of spy thriller called Killing Eve, airing on BBC, but also in America, I think.
BBC America.
It's on BBC America, starring Sandra Oh. I think it's pretty fun to see her back. But the log line, just so you guys know, is that Eve Polastri is a desk-bound M15 officer, and she begins to track down a talented psychopathic assassin named Villanelle. And all during this, both women are becoming obsessed with each other. So that's the log line to the show. We're going to go around the table and give you our overall thoughts and our pass or play. Sam, I want to start with you. What did you think of the show overall, and are you a pass or play?
I liked it overall. I think it got a lot better towards the end. It takes me a minute. British shows are hard for me because I think they're very slow. But this wasn't so slow towards the end, and I hope it keeps up with that. And I thought it was really good performances, and I liked it overall.
Think you're going to watch it?
I feel like I want to save it till I can binge it because it is a tad bit too slow for me, even though people are getting killed, which shouldn't be slow. But I don't know. There's something about it. There was just something a little bit missing. I think I want to binge it so I can enjoy it as a long movie.
You love binging. Is
I
there a
do.
scenario when you wouldn't want to binge a show?
Yeah, I feel like there are. No, I can't think of any.
Black Mirror.
Yes, that's when you kill yourself, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
Too much
a
to
bit
binge.
much to binge. Yeah.
D, what'd you think?
Oh yeah, I liked it. Big fan. I think it's always good when I'm checking to see if there's another episode to watch in the moment. So that I did that. I agree. It was a little slow for a British, but for a British show, it was actually pretty quick.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like slightly, like a little slow for my standards, but like I enjoyed it because I liked how they do character development. So
Yeah.
it's definitely a play for me.
Linda.
Well, you guys already know that I loved it.
Good.
I loved it. I was happy to see Sandra Oh back. I love that whole British show. It's right up my wheelhouse. Like, I watch all the British shows on my Netflix. And I thought that I didn't think it was really slow. I thought they were really building the characters, and I feel like with a lot of British shows, that's what it's more about, the characters.
Yeah.
And so they get really into the details, and if you don't really like that, then you're not going to like this, because
Right.
you really get to know kind of the background and where they're coming from as they build the suspense. So I'm definitely a play, and like DeAnJilo, I was like, oh, is there another episode? And why don't I know about BBC America?
Right.
Because I know BBC, but BBC America.
Yeah, I think BBC America, they pretty much exclusively show BBC shows. It's all very confusing because there's so many channels now.
Well, and then there's a Canadian aspect of like which one, because part of that is Canadian. It's Canadian and British,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it's BBC America, so that I don't know. I honestly
you're
just
right.
get confused by
BBC
it.
America plays in Canada as well.
And a lot they have original shows on BBC. So yeah, I don't know.
I also really liked it. It's honestly probably not a show I'll watch. That's no discredit to the acting or the writing or anything. It's just these usually aren't my kinds of shows, but I thought it was well written. I thought it was well acted. I thought in some ways it was a little conventional, but the thing I liked was they added a lot of specific twists that took it from being your kind of conventional crime procedural. So yeah, I thought it was good.
Yeah, I agree. I think we'll get into it more too, is that the compelling aspect is that I think I like the villain in our show too, which is brings conflicting emotions, but I think they set it up like that on purpose.
Yeah, I love the femme fatale always. That theme, and the writing was very good. There was random funny lines when people are being slaughtered, and I always appreciate that.
Yes.
Well, let's talk about why it was funny. As I mentioned, this show was created by Phoebe Waller-Bridge. She's like this prodigy from the UK who has now created 3 shows. She's 32 years old. The first show she created is a British sitcom I like called Crashing. The second show she created is another British sitcom that I really, really like called Fleabag. This is a show I'd been hearing about for a very long time. It's airing on Amazon. I finally watched it. A lot of people have told me to watch it. I watched it last night to prepare for the show. And I gotta say, it's up there for one of the best shows of last year. Like,
Really?
I'm just watching it now, but it's kind of, what's so interesting is it's nothing like this show, aside from the fact that it's female driven. I bet some of you guys have seen Fleabag. The only way I can describe it is it's this kind of very, very funny but heartbreaking show that has shades of Girls, if you guys have seen that show. Like kind of the floundering late 20s woman trying to find her way. But I think it's much sharper than a lot of the shows that sort of try to do this. So I'm really intrigued that she created this show because it's completely different from the other shows she's made.
Yeah.
But I do think some of the style and the humor of this show, that's probably why if you take someone who's going to write a crime procedural but has this background in this really sharp kind of dark sitcom writing, this is the show you get, I suppose.
Yeah.
Um,
Have you ever watched Luther?
I don't watch Luther, no.
You guys?
I've seen a little bit of Luther.
It reminds me a lot of Luther, like kind of dark,
Stylistic.
But then, yeah.
That's Idris, right?
Yes.
Yeah, everyone says it's really good.
It's
really good.
Idris, of course.
So that's kind of the development of the show. Of course, it's great to see Sandra Oh back. So just so you guys know, we have the spoiler territory and the non-spoiler territory. At this point, we are now entering spoiler territory.
Spoiler alert!
You've been warned.
Spoiler alert!
But I think I want to
Spoiler alert.
start by going
Spoiler
ahead and
alert.
talking about Sandra Oh's character. How did you guys feel about both her performance and her character on this show?
At first, I thought she was super annoying, but
Really?
yeah, with the dream sleeping with her husband, and he thinks that she's dying. Would you say it was cute?
I thought it was cute.
I thought it was
Yeah.
cute too.
Oh my god, I did not. I was like, dude, not cool. You thought you were gonna die. It's stupid. Your arms, whatever. So, and typically, I haven't watched Grey's in a long time. I'm assuming she's not on it anymore. Okay. Her character on Grey's annoyed me a lot, and she's typically kind of bothered me. But by the end of this episode, I was really excited and started to like her. I started to like her from the bathroom scene when she was looking at herself in the mirror on. I was like, okay, I think I like you.
So that says a lot because if she's an actress who you naturally get irked by,
Yeah.
the fact that she won you over, I think, speaks a lot
Says
to
a
her
lot.
performance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you agree, DeAnJilo?
Yeah, well, I like the compelling aspect is that they're the 2 protagonists we have. They're gonna be pinned against each other, but it's already obvious that she like admires the image of who she thinks the assassin is, and she's gonna be chasing her down, kind of, which is like super compelling and interesting. And then the fact that they've already seen each other face to face and they don't know it, that's kind of cool. Like I just like some of the little subtle things they've given us already.
Yeah.
I like Sandra Oh, and I was happy. I was like, oh, my person's back from Grey's.
My person.
And I felt a little bit of. Did you ever watch Grey's? Anyone? No.
Actually,
Well, yeah, I
Yeah.
used
It's
to
very
watch it.
similar in the beginning, like her quirkiness.
Yeah, that's why I didn't like her.
Fair enough. I loved her. I love her. And I agree with DeAnJilo. I like how they are showing us bits and pieces of each of the characters, the protagonists.
Yeah.
And then how they're like, it's like they're building up for this chase, like cat and mouse chase. I love it.
I think that's like the thing that some American shows could take away from what British shows do really well is how they tell us about the character without like forcing it down our throat.
Yeah.
It's like very you're just with them and you're learning about them as opposed to them telling me, hey, feel this way about this person. Like,
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
like so subtle. And
You
I-
hate this person because this person is the villain.
Exactly.
You love
Right.
this person because this person is the good guy.
Yeah.
They are going to interact.
Well,
Like,
I think that British people are kind of just better actors. I hate to say it. That's why so many casting directors sometimes they literally say, we will only audition a British person for this role.
It is interesting when you think of the number of A-listers who are like either Australian, or
Australian or
British.
British.
And like the proportion of just total Brits versus Americans and Australians versus Americans, like it does make you wonder if there's something in the water and the Commonwealth that like makes these people better actors.
Yeah, or if the arts are just more supported there. You know,
That-
they've
yeah.
all been trained heavily, and
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought Sandra Oh was really good in this. There's something about her that's very compelling as an actress. Part of it's her look. I mean, we don't see. It's really, really nice to see just non-white people in lead roles. I mean, it's just nice. But she has kind of a gravitas about her performances that I think like really pulls you in. We got to see a lot of range from her just in this pilot.
Yeah.
And I believed her. There's a scene in a hospital, and I really believed her during
Yeah.
that scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that could have so quickly like tipped into soapy melodrama, but
Yeah.
I was like, okay, good job. Like, yeah, you've got me here. So it kind of makes me think I might keep watching the show again just because the characters seem pretty richly drawn.
And she's relatable. Like just coming in late to the meeting in the
Yeah.
beginning, like all the like things she's obviously like really brilliant, but like the little quirks that she have makes her relatable.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I will say there, after the whole thing in the hospital happened and she's talking to her boss and all of that, I wasn't thinking this is good writing. I was just thinking that this was happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Exactly.
Writing.
You were
Yeah.
lost in it. It is a little weird that she's this random American
Yeah, they haven't explained that. But
Yeah.
then she married the Ukrainian.
The Polish.
Polish.
Yes.
Polish guy.
Polish.
Yeah.
Polish guy.
Ukrainian.
It's Polish. Linda.
It's Polish.
Is it? I don't
You're
know.
outta
I'm
here.
100%
I
sure.
feel like I heard Ukrainian.
Get off the panel. It's Polish.
I feel like I should rewatch that part so that I can say I was right.
Well, let us know in the comments. Was he Polish or Ukrainian?
He's Polish. There's no question.
I'm pretty sure he's Polish.
I'm 100%
I really
sure.
couldn't tell you guys either way. I don't remember what he was.
Yeah.
Because remember in the scene in the beginning where she's like, "Oh, my husband is," and I could have sworn they said Ukrainian.
Well, he speaks Polish.
Yeah.
Maybe he's Ukrainian and speaks Polish.
feel like
It does not matter. We are wasting time.
Yeah. We'll let it go.
So-
Linda just wants to be right.
Okay, so it sounds like we like Sandra Oh's character. Of course, her opposite. Essentially, guys, if you haven't seen the show, really, it's going to become Sandra Oh's character Eve versus Jodie Comer's character Villanelle. A little heavy-handed on the name of the villain, calling her Villanelle.
Yeah, it's obviously not her
Villanelle.
name.
Right.
Like, what is it, Jane?
Oh, maybe it's just who she is, but that's not really her name is Villanelle.
I would hope not. I mean, the British shows seem to be pretty, unless they're sci-fi or fantasy, they're straightforward.
They're a little subtler.
Yeah.
Well, I also thought this was a super interesting character in terms of a
Yeah.
crazy killer.
Yeah.
I really like this actress and I really like this performance. What did you guys think?
I can't wait to hear like about her past and like what got her to get there to where she is now. Because she was super compelling. In that very first scene where she's like staring at the girl in ice cream and like it's so awkward.
Yeah.
And it's perfect. The way she delivered that scene was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a predator. She reminded me of Rebecca Ferguson a lot, you know,
Yeah.
and she was in The Greatest Showman and she's been in a bunch of other stuff, but
I can see that.
yeah, remind me of her a little bit. I thought she was fantastic.
Yeah. I'm always impressed when an actress or an actor can make me feel something without saying a word.
Yeah, because she really didn't speak much in this pilot.
Yeah.
And when
Yeah.
she did, it was not in a language that we knew.
Yeah.
So that's really impressive.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Linda, you agree?
I agree.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree with you guys. I was wondering, because Villanelle, right, is villain, right?
Female.
Yeah, so it's not really a name.
I know it's,
Yeah.
Just villain.
I didn't even think about
in
that. That's true.
French.
yeah.
Was that on
Yeah.
IMDb or a summary somewhere?
I found this in Wikipedia.
And do we know anything else about this character? What is her name? Jodie Comer?
The actress?
Yeah.
Would you mind pulling up Jodie Comer's resume for us, Bree? And if you see anything that's like notable, let
Compelling,
us
yeah.
know. It's Comer. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I think performances are good. It's interesting. We're kind of shifting into talking about the writing now. This is a show that could have felt pretty generic and by the numbers, but I think it's small details that make it interesting and kind of worth existing. You know, it's like with a show like this, it gets pitched like, picture this crazy female assassin, and it becomes a cat and mouse. Like we've seen this a lot, but it's the small things in this show that I think are making it,
Quirks.
kind of producible. And I think that probably partly speaks to the creator of this show, who was originally a comedy writer. Do you guys agree with me that you feel like it's sort of the small things that are making this show interesting?
100%. It's the small things. It's the little quirky characters and just like being relatable.
Yeah.
You know?
I think about it. Yeah, I think that's a good point, Jeff. Like, if someone were to describe to me the show, I'd be like, oh, I've seen that before.
Right.
But it's the way they're delivering it, the little details. It's like one of the things you just kind of have to see it to like appreciate it.
Yeah.
Is it 4 episodes or how many episodes is this?
It's gonna be 8.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
1 hours. That's
See,
that's
this
a
is-
lot.
Last time we talked about a British show, I go, there's only that many, and then they may make you wait how long?
A year and a half.
How dare they?
Yeah.
So
Sometimes more. Sometimes it's like 3 years.
not so
I
not
think it's a
chill.
mini series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
think
it's gonna just be over.
Yeah, 13.
Well, they always
Oh, it's
say
13
that, though.
episodes. Okay. Well,
Oh, thank you, Brie. Our producer's letting us know that it is a mini-series, and it's probably going to be 13 episodes. It is funny, though, with mini-series nowadays, you just never know.
I know. I like the miniseries idea though. Like just
Okay.
Oh, it's
It
eight.
is 8
Oh, it's
episodes.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So it's not a miniseries. It's going to be 8
it's gonna be 8 episodes. We were right the first time.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, 13 might have been the show she was referencing. Got it.
it.
Oh, we're dumb.
it's like we're doing sign language.
Our
know.
producer's doing an amazing job in the booth, and we're just like, okay. So basically, what Brie was saying is that she was in a TV miniseries called
Called
13.
13.
Yeah.
I think that's a sci-fi kind of show as well. 13, right?
Yeah.
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 So funny.
That was funny.
You guys, Mercury is so in retrograde
So
right now. You
retrograde
know.
right now. It is funny with a show like this. I don't know if there's a ton more to say because I think the enjoyment of the show comes from watching it. I wouldn't say it's the most thematically deep show in the world. You know, it's a cat and mouse thriller. It is what it is. It's kind of popcorn TV, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, well, can we talk about maybe, especially since I saw when I was looking at the photo for our show, I never saw the promo photo for the show before, and I was like, wait, is this kind of, like an LGBT? Is it gonna be a murder hunt down, but also are these women gonna develop feelings for each other? And I just, looking at that photo, I was like, whoa, I feel like that's what they're trying to put out there.
I mean, who knows? I do feel like sometimes in these really kind of erotic thriller, it doesn't feel like an erotic thriller yet,
be.
but it could be, and I would be interested. I feel like right now the women admire each other. It doesn't feel like it's tipped into anything sexual yet, but I feel like with all these shows, there's always like a hint of psychosexual drama. I don't know.
I don't get sexual vibes from it at all. I think of it as like a intellectual thing because
Obsession.
yeah, because
Yeah.
Shonda has always. It's obvious she wants to.
Well, this isn't
not
a Shonda show.
Excuse me.
Christina,
Yes.
or not Christina,
Sandra
Sandra.
Oh.
Yeah, save me. Thank you. I think she has always wanted to do something with the career. She has always felt like she hasn't reached her full potential career wise, and she's fascinated by a woman who's in a male dominated industry as an assassin who's like just killing it.
Yeah.
So I think
Killing it.
Yeah.
So I think that is what it is. I don't think it's anything sexual at all.
But what's interesting is we did see one scene where the assassin had presumably had a three-way, and there was a woman there.
yeah.
So-
but what is that? I mean, I don't see what that has to do with Christy.
Well, because she's looking at. She was saying she's looking at the.
Leave your
poster.
head. Yeah, and I mean, if you guys look at doesn't that seem kind of sexual to you? Linda, a little
Absolutely.
bit?
She
Yeah.
has her in a headlock, and it says
Yeah,
killing
but they're
Eve.
naked though.
Yeah, they're
Oh.
naked and they're in naked headlocks. I mean, that's sexual.
My roommate and I do that though, and it's just like.
Oh wait, they're not naked.
You guys made them naked.
Well,
'cause it
You
looks
guys
like
sexualized
Here's
it.
what I'll say. So I live with
doesn't
my
look
best
sexual to me.
friend. I live with my best friend from high school, and on Tuesdays we'll do naked headlocks, and there's nothing weird about it. No, I'm just kidding.
I wonder where the name is coming
There's
from.
nothing
Like
sexual about that.
killing,
Killing
Eve.
Eve.
Well, maybe that's her real name, the assassin.
She the
No,
assassin.
Eve is the name of the lead.
Oh, of
Sandra
course.
The
Oh,
assassin has her
Eve
in
is
a
the name of
headlock,
the-
and she's an assassin, and it says killing Eve.
Yeah. So I mean, that's
An
what I'm saying.
assassin has someone in a headlock, and it says killing that
Okay,
person.
okay.
Eve, and Eve is the.
Okay,
It's very
DeAnJilo.
literal.
So and Eve.
Maybe
Is,
it's not. Okay.
how-
All right, you know what? I'm gonna let you guys have it.
wait, I don't get it though because Eve is Sandra Oh's character,
Yes.
right?
Right.
So you're saying that she's going to be after Sandra Oh's character?
Yeah.
Eventually,
Yes.
it's going to become who kills who.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, a
Definitely.
duel.
Villanelle will realize that Eve is after her. But it could be that Eve
I
is
didn't get that at all.
she's like killing Eve. Like
And then Villanelle can be like, "Wait, I really like it when her hair's down. Maybe I shouldn't."
I
kill
feel like
her."
Sam just wants this. to be like,
Yeah, I think you guys do.
write some
Maybe
fan
we
fiction,
hidden it in
Sam.
there.
You know what though? Who knows where it'll go? I think the fun thing about the show as it stands is we don't necessarily know what the turns it's going to take.
Yeah.
No.
Because it's
I think
clearly,
I'm defensive of it too, because I feel like generally speaking with guys, when it comes to stuff like this, they'll sexualize it.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of like, why do they even need to do that? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Good for you.
Yeah, but that's why I'm slightly
Very
defensive.
elevated viewpoint, DeAnJilo. Any other thoughts about this show before we kind of rate it? I will say for fans who have still tuned in who haven't seen it, who want to know if they should watch it, if you're a big fan of Shonda shows, I'd say you might enjoy this show.
Love it.
it's got the same kind of female-driven, sharp twist on conventional formats.
Wow, yeah.
Thanks, guys. But yeah, I think Shonda does that, where she takes a show that you expect to be generic and infuses something interesting. I think the same thing is happening here.
I'm on another panel, Station 19, which, is in the Shonda land.
Yes.
And it's the same, powerful woman, same thing. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
But this has a British, like, grounded twist on it. Because
Yeah.
Shonda shows kind of tend to, you're like, what the hell?
Right.
But
Soapy.
this is more grounded.
That's like a perfect reaction to a lot of things.
What the? Yeah. Because the thing
Like,
is,
really?
We always say, damn you, Shonda.
yeah, because even when crazy things happen on a British show, they still have British accents, so it just seems smarter.
Proper. Yeah.
So you're like, this
is
was
okay.
gonna be crazy, but did you hear the way they said it?
Oh my God.
Okay, cool. I say we go around the table and we rate this pilot out of 5. DeAnJilo, you go first.
I'm trying to remember what I did last week. It has to be slightly below.
You
no.
did like 4.3-ish because he was like a 4. No, you were like 4.
I did like 3.75.
No, because he was up there and you were right behind him.
I can't give this a 4. I give it like a 3.8.
Okay.
3.9.
She's looking.
Is that yours?
That's mine.
literally looking at your number. You're
I
cheating.
hate your number. I'm gonna say 4.3.
Ooh,
4.3.
fancy.
Yes.
I'm gonna say 3.7. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
So those are our scores.
There it is.
You acted like Jeff gave it a 2. I mean, that's
Well, because I don't get his rating system at all. Like when you try to like
Get into someone's head.
compartmentalize.
We should-
Like,
should-
where's this?
We should compile everyone's numbers
Alone
and see if
Together
there's any
gets like
consistency.
close to a 5.
Guys, I
He
love
Well,
loves
you haven't
comedies,
known about
though.
Alone
Gets to
Together.
Yeah, he loves
37.
comedies. That's
Last week got like 4.2.
It was also a comedy that he liked. His
yeah.
comedies are outliers from
Comedies I love
Yeah.
comedies. Any other thoughts about Killing Eve? Any recommendations maybe for fans who have listened to other shows that might be similar? You mentioned Luther, we mentioned Shonda.
I just feel like it's the Shonda show that she kind of wished there was a show called The Catch,
Yep.
and it was not good. But the female lead, who I don't know, she was undercover, but she kind of looked like this girl that is the Villanelle.
Yeah.
Villanelle. But yeah, Shonda shows. I also think, you know what? I'm gonna throw it out there. Pretty Little Liars.
Okay.
I don't care what you say, but it's a great show, and it definitely had taste of that in here.
Twisty.
Interesting.
You had a realization like a minute ago.
The Killing.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't watch it, but
That's what this reminds me of now. That like plot twist, and the lead on The Killing was the lead on The Catch.
Yep.
But The Catch was not a good show.
Well, it's not.
But The Killing. If you like The Killing, if you like Luther, anything that's like a real kind of like a psychological thriller that's really grimy, then you'll love this show.
Yeah.
great. Well, guys, this has been our coverage of Killing Eve. Thanks so much for tuning in, as always. We're here every Wednesday, and we cover pilots.
But before we go, we
Oh, we
really
do.
want to talk
We have
about
one
I
more
Maria.
thing for you
apologize. Guys, I'm
guys.
going on the show tomorrow, so we should promote it. DeAnJilo, let us know what we should know.
Yes, guys, I actually have a question for you. If you want to have fun, learn, and grow in all areas of your life, we have a show for you. We've got a podcast for you, actually. It's Conversations with Maria Menounos. The podcast edition. It's hosted by our AfterBuzz TV founder, and it drops every Friday on iTunes. And Jeff will actually be on there as well.
I'm going to be on tomorrow. It'll be fun.
Yes. So Conversations with
Yeah.
Maria Menounos features celebrities and influencer interviews, along with secrets and tips on how to be better in all aspects of your life, from health and wellness to career, relationships, finances, and so much more. Let our Maria be the big sister you've always wanted. Just go to iTunes and subscribe to Conversations with Maria Menounos for free. Be sure to rate and comment, and when you do, let Maria know it was us here that sent you guys over there. So once again, Conversations with Maria Menounos podcast edition. Check it out.
Check it out. It's great. Maria's a really, really interesting host because she is obviously brilliant and great interviewer, but she's also very funny. The show is surprisingly funny, and she's got a sharp wit. So I think for fans, especially you females out there who are potentially tuning into Killing Eve, definitely want to check out Maria's podcast. It's great. Again, guys, this has been our coverage of TV pilot reviews. Thanks for tuning in. Today we covered Phoebe Waller-Bridge's show, Killing Eve. I have to say, I want to shout out Fleabag, which is that show I watched last night. Really, really great show, and just an example of because she's an actress as well. What's interesting is she stars in the other 2 shows she created.
Oh.
So like, yeah, in the same way that Lena Dunham does everything on Girls, she's like does everything on Fleabag.
I wonder if she's gonna be on this one.
I don't know. I hope so, because she's a great actress. She's just kind of one of those people who's annoyingly talented, but also that's great. And I want people to watch that show. So check out Fleabag. How about the rest of you guys? What is your name and where can they find you on the internet?
I am DeAnJilo. You can hit me up on Twitter at DeAnJilo TV, but really hit me up on Instagram at DeAnJilo.
And you guys can find me, Sam Davidson, at SamD43 on Twitter and Instagram, and SamDavidsonEntertainment.com.
I am Linda Antwi. You can find me all across social media at Linda Is So Girly. I wanted to also mention checking out the show. It's Sundays at 8 p.m.
What show?
Killing Eve.
Oh, the show is Sundays at 8 p.m.
Yeah,
Great.
Sundays
Sorry.
at 8 p.m.
Perfect. We should
That's
say
it.
that.
I'm done.
We will start saying that during the show when you can watch it and how. Guys, thanks for tuning in to TV Pilot Reviews. We will see you next Wednesday at 10 p.m. by 9 p.m.
9. Oh, yeah.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.